Live at home against Brighton and Hove Albion.
2-0 up.
And 2-0 up. Apparently there was a proper own goal. Or was it an own goal by proper?
I don't know who it was, but there was one own goal. Well, technically there could have been two, because the first one was a big deflection because it was on target.
Pereira goal with the deflected goal. And then
that counts as Pereira's because it was on target.
I think Pereira gets the goal, yeah.
Yeah, the other one was a little scruff on the line.
I just think, like, imagine if it was, Man United were 2-0 down. Would you just, like, give us your excuses for not being able to make it to the show and you just, like, not turn up?
Just walk in without knocking on the door, innit?
So, for the benefit of our listeners, we are graced with the presence of Arif Aziz, who's decided to join us a little bit belatedly. What happened, Arif? You do know that we go live at 3, which means we should be in the studio for about 2:45.
Do you really want to know? I was just around my mum's. I was sorting my trophies out, and it just took too long.
You know, when Arif sorts his trophies out,
I was going to bring them to my house.
You need to, you need to sort a whole weekend. You need to have a spare weekend to go through all your trophies. So, how many trophies have you got?
I've got about 4. A couple from Mohib and a couple from Mishba.
Oh, bless. Arif, can you maybe lend Sadat some of your trophies?
Anytime.
Arif's English is not great. He's just putting plural on it. It's a trophy. I'm sure you've only got one.
So it looks like we are live on Facebook, which means we can share on our feeds and we can get interaction from our listeners. A big up to Luton listeners who have still yet to comment in, so they have still yet to claim their free dinner for... So that's dinner for 2? Should we say dinner for 2?
Yeah, dinner for 2.
A restaurant in Peterborough of their choice.
Yeah.
They'll probably rather just go somewhere in Luton, wouldn't they? But that is still an option.
I'm not going up to Luton to give them a treat.
Guys, do call in to the show. If anybody wants a free meal from Sadat and you're in Luton, the studio telephone number is 01733 602 133. That's 01733 602 133. You can also text and WhatsApp us on this show. You should know the number by now. It's 07745 278 978. That's 07745 278 978. And of course, we are live on Facebook. So, Arif.
Yes.
What's been going
on? What's going on?
Lewis Hamilton.
Congratulations, Lewis
Hamilton.
Again. Yeah.
Again, he is now the second most successful Formula One driver in history.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about him.
Obviously, he went into the sport. I think he was racing when he was about 11 years of age. He started Formula 3 and Formula 4, and at the age of 19, I think
his dad used to work 2 jobs just to afford to get him on.
Absolutely, and we're not talking about few £100 here and there or £1,000. It's a very, very expensive sport.
I mean, me and Sadat wouldn't know.
That's probably why I'm never interested in it. It's too expensive.
We've never been into a Grand Prix.
Well, neither have I.
No,
neither have I. But what can you say about the guy? I mean, if you were talking about the best of the best, he's up there, isn't he? You've got Schumacher, who's won more.
How much is it about the driver than it is about the car?
It's about the driver and the car. I think, with the best drivers, they've always had the best cars.
Give him a Toyota, would he have won that?
He would have...
Look.
Or any other vehicle that's out there. Ford.
I think with elite level sport, the margins are so fine.
Yeah.
And you've got to give it to skill. I mean, I didn't know this, but they lose about 4 or 5 kilograms of weight in every Grand Prix.
Hydration.
Because of the amount of sweating they do and whatnot, right? And they're only sweating that much because they're working incredibly hard in very difficult conditions. And you're talking about
the clothing that they wear, isn't it? Keeps them nice.
The clothing, the safety aspects of their clothing, but also, the rate at which they react. The fact that their brain's got to be switched on for every microsecond of that race, because you go slightly wide, you can get overtaken. You don't quite get the right line. You lose if you're losing.
But they are helped by their team, aren't they? In the air all the time, aren't they? They say, look, go outside, inside, outside lane, inside lane.
Do talk to their teams.
Talk to them, educate us, man.
Because I'm going by what the movies I've seen, to be honest.
You're thinking about Colin McRae rally.
With
wide left, 3 left. Turn,
I think
right.
with any sport nowadays, science and preparation is probably just as important as driving. If you look at the, we're going to use example as of 2 top teams in English football. they have not got to the stage where they are without the managers they've got and with the background.
Yeah, but they're on the same conditions. So when you say two top teams, say football, they've got the same ball, the pitch, same number of players. Where in racing, he's got a better car than most of the people.
Yeah, it depends.
So the technology is on though they're on the same track.
Technology,
but he's got a better car, so he's got an advantage straight away.
Yeah, but
would he win as many if he was? Joke aside, I don't know what the least car wins is on the Grand Prix. I don't know which one is it. Ferrari are they ahead with the most wins? I don't know.
Throughout history, probably, yeah. Ferrari.
So if he was on any other car but those, would he have been winning as much?
He probably
does the same not apply to every great champion. So Michael Schumacher, he was driving for Ferrari when Ferrari were absolutely dominant.
Yeah.
But even when your team is dominant, you still have a driver that's driving for the same team other than you. So who was the Irish fella used to drive with Schumacher? Eddie, what's his name?
Eddie Irvine.
Eddie Irvine used to race against Michael Schumacher in the best cars. But he was nowhere near it.
And if you also look at Bottas is currently his number 2. He's in Mercedes as well. Mm-hmm. But how many races has he won? He's finished. He was number 1. He won it last week.
And you take a club like Manchester United with the resources that they have, they're going to attract the best players, right? They're going to go out and try and buy the best players.
Yeah.
So if you are Ferrari or if you are Mercedes, McLaren or whoever, if you are a big budget team, you're going to try and get the best drivers.
You're going to try to get the best,
He's the best. He's the most highly paid driver.
Currently at the moment, yeah.
Yeah, and if he's a most highly paid driver, that means those people who've got the best cars recognise he's their best driver. So your question is probably, if you switch him with a Red Bull driver, I don't know who drives for Red Bull right now.
Yeah.
If you switch them two around, would that make the gap smaller? And I think it probably would. It would.
It would, but it's still about down to his skill and his technique of driving. We're talking, like you explained earlier, we're talking about split seconds here.
Fine margins.
Real fine margins.
It's the beauty of sport, isn't it? The fine margins.
Absolutely.
Very pine.
So a little bit of history then. I don't know if it was Nigel Mansell or it was Damon Hill.
Yeah.
But when they were off, they were in pole positions, they were competing for the titles and whatnot. But when they kind of just slightly went off of that, they joined a lesser team. And I think Red Bull, one of their early drivers was a declining Damon Hill possibly.
Yeah.
And so you get really, really good drivers that can actually help a team. They'll go into a team and then they'll give feedback to the mechanics, the engineers. They'll give feedback to the team management and say, look, you want to turn you increase the downforce on the front wing, or you want to apply a little bit more aerodynamics, or the braking's a little bit soft. So you've got driver skill that informs the build of the car as well. See, that's good, isn't it? Yeah, so it's a very, very technical
Carry
sport.
on, Image.
No, but
absolutely, it's fine margins.
Abbas, come on, mate. You've got to wait your turn. We've got to let this simmer a little while. I know what everyone's thinking today, and that's the only thing that anybody cares about in the world of sport today.
I think
is the game later today.
Absolutely.
But we will come on to it, Abbas. You have to be patient.
I think this whole program today should have been just for that game, because if you look at sports around in the last week, it's just there's been hardly any of the sports.
The world of sport has just gone on pause.
England have just smashed New Zealand in the T20.
Does anybody really care?
Yes.
Don't mean to upset people.
You just have.
But do they really?
Yes. No. They were 1-0 down.
1-0 down.
2-1 in the series. Yeah. And the final one went to the Super Over again, like the World Cup final.
I think, you know what, I've had such an insightful, eye-opening discussion about Formula One driving, and you've just
killed it.
Absolutely murdered it. You just destroyed it. Let's get your comments in about Formula One, guys. What do you guys think? What is Hamilton's legacy? He's not done yet.
He's done yet. He's a young guy.
The 6th championship, and the record is 7 or 8? 7 by Schumacher.
Yeah.
So as long as he's with, is it Mercedes he's with at the moment?
He's Mercedes at the moment.
So as long as he's with Mercedes, he's got more chances of matching or breaking that record.
Each year, the teams like Red Bull, Ferrari, Mercedes, they will try to get their technicians and
Renault.
Renault.
Renault used to be big in the game.
Yeah,
back in the day.
really?
Yeah, they really did.
These teams get to get individually get together and.
So how do they fall behind then? I don't,
No,
educate me.
it's all about the
Arif.
team. Just look at United.
So
How
if-
have they fallen behind?
No, that's a different.
No, it's the same.
Yeah, same
concept.
set as Liverpool has never won the Premier League.
Absolutely,
You know,
we
and-
fell
and
behind in the after the.
After how many years you can't remember? Can you?
Well, 20 whatever. It doesn't make any difference, does it?
Shots fired.
It does.
Yeah.
It does make.
No,
a
but that's the
difference.
point, Sadat. You're asking for something that you know.
No, because this
So
is a mechanical
question for Arif, because I think you know this sport better than we do. But there's 24 spots on
Can't
the
be a
grid.
football question.
24
24
spots.
spots on the grid, right?
Yeah.
For in a race, it's usually 24, is it, or is it?
It's 24.
Let's say it's 24. So that means there's 12 teams competing with 2
Yeah.
drivers each. Who decides who those 12 teams are? Because, like you say, how do teams fall off?
Yeah.
So Renault
It's-
used to be big in the game. I remember Renault used to
It's
have one of the
all
best.
about money. Who's
So
prepared to?
Petrobras have a car, don't they? The big oil company, they have a car. Mercedes, McLaren,
Yeah.
Ferrari have always been there. Lotus used to have a car. I don't think Lotus still
yeah.
race. Do they race still?
No, because it's about money. Image, you have to put money in. We're talking about millions of dollars.
Yeah, but
Somebody
yeah.
has to provide millions of dollars. Ferrari have done it. Red Bull have done it. Mercedes have done it in recent
For example,
times.
Koenigsegg,
Yeah.
car manufacturers, they don't have a Formula One car. Lamborghini. Car
Lamborghini.
manufacturers, supercar manufacturers,
Supercars.
they don't have a Formula One car. So it sounds like it's not as straightforward as money. You've got big companies with huge investors. It sounds like you've got to have not just the money, but the right team, the engineers, the mechanics,
everything, 100%.
the aerodynamics,
Yeah.
the tires. You need
Yeah.
to have
Yeah.
I mean,
If you
the
have a
pits
look-
team, I guess you could probably
Yeah,
work on.
I
it
mean
some.
the last team that's come in, which I think they've gone out now. Force India.
Force India,
Yeah.
Force India came onto the scene out of the blue,
Yeah.
and they did okay for a
They
number
did
of years.
okay. There was. I mean, there was a lot of hoo-ha about Force India as well because, your country is poverty-stricken, yet your government, because it was Force India was
yeah.
part of government,
Sure.
was spending billions of pounds
in developing
in
cars.
developing cars and for racing. So they took some of the funding away. They are funded as well for these
Sure.
sports. Some of the funding was taken away from them, and secondly, they weren't allowed to compete because they were getting some prize money coming in as well, and that prize
Okay.
money should have gone to their country basically.
Okay. Ishfaq Ali's commented.
few comments, all right.
He said Hamilton is one of the greatest ever British sports people.
Person. Yeah.
I'd have to
Yeah.
agree with him. Yeah.
I'd have to agree with him, absolutely.
yeah.
And then he follows on and says, for him to still be at the top of the sport for so long is amazing.
Yeah, he's still a young guy.
He's still relatively
yeah,
young,
he's
that's the
relative.
thing.
Yeah, he's pretty young. I mean,
How long has he been
30 now?
So Michael Schumacher, I think he won his last title at the age of 35,
Yeah, some 30.
35, maybe 36.
Yeah.
And even after the titles, he was still winning Grand Prix. It's
He
not
was
like
winning. Yeah, he
wasn't,
just didn't win.
He just didn't win the
Yeah.
title. And Hamilton, I don't know, is he 30?
He's about 30. He's around about 30, I think.
At what
30,
time do
31.
Mercedes change the driver?
They can change any year,
Yeah.
every year.
Yeah, they can change every year, but I mean, what generally speaking, like we say, I don't know, footballers 35, 37, 38, shall we say. So where's his peak? Are they going to decide, when he hits 33, 34?
I think
is it
nowadays
on performance,
I think-
like a manager's not winning, like,
Well, nowadays,
sack him, so
especially
would you
if
get
you
rid of
look
him?
at those, sports like golf, it's all about preparation. It's
Yeah.
all about your physical body. Can you?
I think
you know-
I think if the team look around and they think we've got a good hot young prospect
Yeah.
who isn't a pretender, who's a genuine contender, and Hamilton's probably made a few mistakes, a few mental errors, a few driving
Get
errors.
too big for his boots.
He won't get too big for his boots. He's one of the most
He's
humble
not. Yeah,
guys.
He's not one of those
If you
guys. Yeah.
listen to him in an interview, genuinely, he's you're talking about a multi-millionaire who's got the world at his feet. You got to remember, have you ever seen, before a Formula One race starts, they walk up and down the track and all the cars are getting ready, and you've got the who's who in Hollywood, in business. You've got basically the icons of the planet at every Formula One race. Matthew McConaughey was at the last
Yeah.
race. They have David Beckham on trackside. They have huge singers.
Yeah.
They've got massive rock stars
Absolutely,
and all this
yeah.
turning up. So for the fame, if that's what you want, for the fame, it's the number one sport.
It is.
And then people that we don't know, Verstappen, who's Verstappen? Mate, in his country, he is so well known, Bottas is a massive name.
Yeah.
The Brazilians have a really good
Absolutely.
relationship with their drivers. They've had a number of really, really good drivers.
You had Ayrton Senna, Nelson Piquet. You
Yeah.
had some, I mean, these guys are fantastic drivers. I think driving back in those days was tougher, bit more dangerous. Obviously, we've got more safety in now than before. But if you're driving at 200 miles an hour, all it takes is a split second, a mistake.
So I watched a bit of
Was there more competition then? Sorry, in the past, shall we say, with 3 or 4 cars?
I think the competition's still there.
McLaren,
the 3 or 4
Ferrari,
cars are still there.
Mercedes.
Since I've been watching it, there's been either 2 or 3. So you got the drivers' championship and you got the constructors' championship.
Yeah.
And the drivers' championship is individual race points, and constructors is both of your drivers' points added together, and then we'll see how it goes. And historically, I mean, since I've been I've kind of follow it at arm's length, but it's always been 2 or 3 teams that are going for the constructors, and occasionally one driver will. I mean, Michael Schumacher used to just be way out on top, and Damon Hill contested for a little while. Nigel Mansell contested for David Coulthard came on the scene, contested for a while. But with drivers, they tend to show that difference. But with the constructors, it's usually 2 or 3 cars, and then the others would just be like, "Oh, can we get a podium finish 2 or 3 times in a season?"
Yeah, I think some of these teams just are happy to finish in the top 10.
Zoib Iqbal is watching. Zoib, get your comments in. Are you a fan of Formula One? If you are, let us know your thoughts on Lewis Hamilton's win in USA, which is the 6th time I think he's won in the States as well. It's his 6th tournament as well. 6th championship as well. Asif Ali is watching. Asif, do get your comments in.
And that race was a fantastic race. The one he actually won it as well.
Yeah, so he was off the pole.
Yeah.
And he was on hard tyres to start with. And these are the other things, like really technical. Like they can go hard tyres, medium tyres, soft tyres. Soft tyres give you great grip in the opening rounds, but you probably have to do 2 stops rather than 1 stop. So you have to do stopping strategies, because when you stop, you probably lose about 10 seconds on the field. Yeah. But if you've got the right kind of tyres, you make it up 1.5 second per lap on the field.
Yeah, so some teams will take 2 pit stops, some will take 1. I think you've got to really take a minimum 1. They start off on sort of different tyres, and then they go on to softer or harder tyres, whichever.
And just remind me, do they still have the whatever you've got in the fuel tank is what you start with on the?
Yeah,
they still got that.
Yeah.
So sometimes cars go with a heavy fuel tank, knowing that they're going to start quite far behind, but they won't have to stop as often. And some will try and get pole position, so they'll go as light as they can, so they'll have 50, 60, 70 litres fuel, maybe 100 litres of less fuel, set themselves close to 100 kilograms, which means they'll get pole position or a good position, but literally they're going to be coming in after 10, 12, 15 laps, whatever it is. So very technical. I think we should probably just
go one day.
Yeah,
we've been there before.
Yeah. Let's move on now. There's apparently been a crackerjack T20 game between England and New Zealand that nobody could care less about. So, tell us all about it.
I'm not even going to talk about it now.
Tell us all about it.
I'm disappointed.
You've upset him now.
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't even watch it, but that's not the point. It's a shocker that you lot said that nothing happened.
What I do want is for our listeners to keep us up to date with the latest score, because I do know Manchester United are winning 2-0 against Brighton and Hove Albion.
Wolves will win 1.
Wolves. Did you see the goal?
No,
I heard it's a quality goal.
Ruben
he doesn't
Neves.
score tap-ins, does he?
Ruben Neves scored a cracking goal. They had a free kick on the edge of the box. Everybody lines up around the penalty spot. He's hanging around 15 yards outside the box. The ball just gets squared to him. He steps into it, side foot, top corner.
Volley or along the ground?
No, along the ground. Okay. Volley would have been special.
Would have been like Paul Scholes.
Volley would have been special. Ruben Neves, he's no Paul Scholes, is he? I mean, come on. It's not
No, probably better. I'm just talking about finishing.
So we will come on to the football.
I'm glad you said that quietly, because you knew that it wasn't a brave comment to make.
You're talking about history against that.
Not talking about history.
Was it 10 years ago? 10 years ago was his last game.
He played 20
and
years
you're
ago.
Still talking about
we're talking about a pullback, and I just automatically remember the corner that came to the edge of the box as a volley by Paul Scholes. Great finish. I don't think there's been a better one.
I think you have to remember these things now, don't you?
I think you're disenfranchising our listeners. They're genuinely not interested. They want to talk about things that are current. When we were talking about Formula One, we had 10 listeners.
Did anyone watch the boxing?
Can I just say?
Did you see the boxing?
When we were talking about Formula One, we had 10 listeners. When you started having a strop, we went down to 2 listeners.
Yeah, Arif, stop having a strop.
So stop having a strop. Tell me about the boxing.
There was a boxing match. I was hoping you lot watch it. I thought Ishfaq might watch.
Didn't get a chance to watch it. It'd be nice to get Ishfaq's point.
Logan Paul.
Yeah.
They had pretty beef and amongst
40
until they went to
million
points.
YouTube fans between the two of them, or
Yeah, see,
subscribers.
He knows.
The two of them, and they had one
It
fight.
was a rematch, wasn't it?
Yeah, they had a fight. They had a match. I can't remember when it was, but I saw clips of that.
But
And that was a great fight.
Yeah, it was such a
actually.
good fight that the
Yeah.
promoter, what's his name, who always gets behind it,
Eddie Hearn.
Eddie, that's it. Yeah, he was behind this one,
Yeah.
so he got involved in this one, and that's
Okay.
why this one got a bit more, I know, out there in the social media.
So educate me. Is this just
Oh,
a
I
couple
can't do
of just a couple of YouTubers who have lots of listeners who concocted a bit of online beef and then decided to do a pay-per-view fight?
I think
Is that what it is?
I think the thing is,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, why are we talking about it on our show?
It's
because
because
it's popular.
you
It
had
is because
you
it's
had a
popular.
pay-per-view.
Eddie Howe's getting involved, or whatever his name is.
Eddie Howe, the Bournemouth
Bournemouth manager, yeah.
Do you know what? It is correct me if I'm wrong. I do think these two YouTubers were for the younger crowd.
Well,
I
correct me
couldn't
if I'm
follow.
wrong, but I thought we were a serious sports broadcaster.
Hey,
Why? Are we
It is.
we are-
doing
it
This-
is
that?
this
serious.
was-
No,
this
it's not
was
wasting time.
serious.
It's serious.
Okay.
14 million viewers on YouTube. You know, it's only about a couple of million behind us. They're catching up.
They are catching up. To be fair. Okay, so do we want to talk about the fight, or should we just move on?
We'll move on now. You
Let's
killed
move on.
it. You killed it.
T20 cricket. Come on.
T20 cricket. Pakistan lost their series and
Heavily.
England won. Yeah, heavily. They were lucky that the first match got
The
raised off.
thing with
otherwise it'd be
Pakistan
three.
is, yeah,
So
like
why
it's just a
sack?
bag of surprises.
Has they have cheated
It's like
by
literally you
sacking there?
empty a bag of surprises, and sometimes they land right, and sometimes they land wrong. It's just
Oh,
you
no.
don't know what you're gonna get.
don't say that.
Isn't that right, Taz?
Taz, I don't know
Regular
what Taz
listener
is.
Taz.
That is exactly like Pakistan.
Isn't that right,
Taz
Taz?
didn't like that comment. And he blaming me for it. Who said that
I mean,
comment?
Chaudhry says Arif reminds me of Ghilam Balag. So tell us what the latest Spanish transfer rumours are, Ghilam.
Well, I think
Yeah, he's a Spanish transfer.
Yeah,
guy.
yeah,
Okay,
Okay,
if
if
you
you
want
want
to-
Salah, hopefully or maybe, is going to.
Hey, what about
What? Hang on.
Sterling?
Did you just say Mohamed Salah's going?
Sterling?
Hopefully.
Sterling-
Hopefully. No.
Sterling-
I want to hold on this comment. He's saying hopefully. So you want Mohamed Salah out?
I was gonna say.
You just said hopefully
unfortunately,
he's
not
going.
Hopefully,
You just
unfortunately.
rewind that, Michelle. Rewind that.
But I mean, the actual rumor is that Real Madrid have offered 70 million plus Gareth Bale
Yeah,
for Raheem Sterling.
yeah.
Is that
But
likely
Zinedine
to
Zidane
happen?
said he didn't want to sell Bale, didn't he? He came
Then
out
why
and
are they
said,
making
No,
an
I
offer?
think there is.
well,
now-
there's rumours.
No, it's not rumors. That was actual official offer.
Is it an official offer?
Ghilam Balag?
Okay. Hello?
Yeah, it's not official, but
It's
yeah,
not official,
they're
official,
working,
but it's official.
They're working on that.
It's like you have doctors and you have doctors, right?
yeah.
It's not official, but it's official.
Sure.
Not official. Official.
So,
Second
but
opinion.
yeah, look, Madrid are struggling. They're not playing. The Madrid are not playing as good a football. Look, he is a fantastic player.
It's so much better when you're talking to the microphone.
And can he improve the team? You've had
what it is,
Hazard
right?
who's gone there, and Hazard struggling as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he's gonna do well out there, but it'd be a good deal, I think, for both the clubs. Well, I'm not sure for City. I think if you're looking at Bale, he's now on the
So right
He's
now,
on a
downward
decline.
Right,
Yeah.
Where
right now,
Raheem Sterling's at his peak.
Sterling's probably the most dangerous player in the Premier League. Is that fair to say?
I
Probably. It's Sterling, Mane.
Yeah.
I think
Aguero.
Raheem Sterling is just right for City at the moment, at this time, rather than Bale.
I agree. I
Yeah,
agree. And Sterling,
He's right at that club.
It is Guardiola that's moulded him.
Of
to be
course,
the player he is.
yeah.
And he got him while he was young. Gareth Bale, he's probably set in his ways. He's probably too worried about his ponytail.
Going on the down.
Yeah, he's probably.
Decline.
he's-
And plus, how old is he
28,
now?
29?
Bale must be about 28, 29.
That's what I
Yeah.
thought.
Yeah. So he's getting on a little bit, and 70 million for Raheem Sterling. If you look at his probably current value in the market, what is it going to be? 150.
Bale's probably only got about 3 or 4 bursts in him in a match. Where Raheem Sterling
Whereas
will do
Raheem Sterling just
consistently.
keeps
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
consistently.
And I think obviously with Liverpool, he was very, very good, Raheem Sterling. But
Oh, here we go.
Guardiola has improved him and has, made some changes to the way he's, performing. And he's getting results. And he was an excellent player at Liverpool as well. So
He was, and I think
he was a
Liverpool.
good player.
Well, I think
And he's been
Liverpool
put into a better
were
player.
very, very happy to
To
get
let go.
55 million for him. At
yeah,
the
they
time.
didn't want to sell him, but
I think they were very happy with the money they got because they thought there's no. Because I remember watching him, he had an
misses
air
a
of
few.
Aaron Lennon about him.
yeah.
Like he looked so explosive and dangerous, and then he would
There's
just
no end
flop
product.
And-
completely. But you're absolutely right. Now, in I mean, even now we criticise him for not taking as many chances, but if he took most of his chances, he'd be on
he'd be
50
up
goals a
there.
season.
Yeah. And he missed some simple chances.
He really does, but then he's still getting 20 goals a season.
But he's there to take it or miss them, shall we say.
So I think it's an absolutely
He's a
sensational
quality
player.
But again, I just think he fits for City. I think, again, if you put him back into Liverpool or any other club, I don't think he'll be attacking.
I'm not sure that. I think
scoring as many.
It
Helps team as collectively create those chances.
Yeah,
which
obviously
he's involved
he
in.
fits into the City way of playing football currently at the moment. But that's not to say if you ended up at Liverpool or at Manchester United or somewhere
I'll tell you
else.
what, why don't we pick this up after the break? It's a really interesting conversation. Guys, do join us again in about 4 minutes, and we'll be back shortly. Assalamu alaikum.
Salaam.
Stay tuned to Salaam Radio after this short ad break.
Where can you get high quality and low prices? Amar Food Store and Halal Meat in Lincoln Road, Triangle is the place to go. Pay us a visit and take advantage of our special offers and great range of products on groceries, vegetables, fruits and halal meat. Also send money to Pakistan absolutely free. We have all top brands at special offers, offer free customer parking and provide a free local delivery service. Amar Food Store and Halal Meat, 613B Lincoln Road, Peterborough. Call us on 01733 687 374. High in quality, low in prices.
Al Murad Tiles. With over 70 stores nationwide, we are now open in Peterborough. Up to 50% discount offers now on. Largest selection of tiles. Full bathroom suites from only £189. Paint, LED lighting, laminate flooring from only £7.99. Over 1,000 designs of wallpaper in stock. We have everything you need. Come and visit us at 193 Fengate, Peterborough, PE1 5BH, or call us on 01733 34 58 47. Almurad Tiles, now open.
Had a car accident or an accident at work? Accident specialists are experts in no-win, no-fee accident claims. Leave the hassle to us. Our multilingual settlement experts will manage the entire claims process on your behalf, with nothing to pay up front. We provide services such as credit hire, taxi vehicles, recovery, storage and much more. For full details on our range of services and a free consultation, call us on 01733 555 774 or visit our office at 249 Lincoln Road opposite the NatWest Bank. Accident Specialists. Start your successful claim today.
There's a million choices available for dining out in Leeds.
But if you want something special, there's only one name to remember.
Mumtaz Leeds.
Relax in our newly refurbished Riverside restaurant.
Enjoy exquisite home cooking from our brand new menu. Upgrade to the Mumtaz Leeds experience.
And the price? Well, we're better value than ever before.
Mumtaz Leeds, Chadwick Street, Leeds, LS10 1PJ. Call 0113 242 4211.
Free car parking available. Broadcasting 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. This is Salaam Radio.
And our profuse apologies for that 3 or 4 minutes of radio silence. I think we had some technical problems there, so we do apologise. But I am pleased to report that you have got the lovely sounds of Arif Aziz, Sadat Akram and Imtiaz Ali back on the microphone. Assalamu alaikum, and thank you for joining us again. We are Salaam Sports 106.2 FM and Inspire FM 105.1. Thank you so much for joining us again. We started a very interesting conversation, and we did continue it through the break, but I think for the benefit of our listeners, we were saying about Raheem Sterling and about how good he was at Liverpool and how he's moved on.
He was okay at Liverpool and became much better at City.
I completely agree with that. I think, Arif, that's fair.
Yeah, I think he was just turning the corner in that last season when he was playing with Sturridge.
He was frustrating when he at Liverpool because you can see the potential.
No, he's still frustrating at times when he misses those sitters. But the thing is, he gets himself into some fantastic
But then we continued
positions.
and we started talking about Marcus Rashford.
Yeah.
So, Sadat, give us your views.
Well, I think he's a great player. I think he's playing brilliantly on the left. I don't think he's an out-and-out striker. I mean, I think he links up with Martial really well. Them two, when they play together, are much better than Martial on his own or Rashford on his own without Martial. But yeah, and your comment that maybe he's at the wrong club at this time, I don't think so. I think he's good where he is at the moment. I wouldn't, as a United fan, want to lose Rashford.
But just a couple of comments. We had Zahir Abbas, who was listening intently, and he's asking what's the radio silence. So we do apologise, some technical issues. And he was after saying, guys, in relation to what you were discussing earlier, and he's given us a Wikipedia page on the Ferrari team. So I'm guessing he thinks we know nothing about Formula One.
Typical Adil, isn't it?
Adil, if you could do a bit of research and just text us with the pertinent points, we'd be happy to talk about them like we know what we're talking about. And Adil's also saying, look awesome. Thank you very much. I do try my best.
I don't think that was directed to you.
Or was it not?
No.
Thank you very much. Sadat did go to the barbers yesterday.
No.
Well done, Sadat.
Well done,
I'll
Sadat.
take that.
Okay, so this is what I was saying for the benefit of our listeners. I was saying Marcus Rashford, he gets a lot of stick. I think he's a good player. I think he was thrown in at the deep end at a very difficult time when Louis van Gaal was managing Manchester United, and he had a spate of injuries and he was under a bit of pressure, and he came across this rough diamond and he's been given an opportunity. He's not delivered like you'd expect a seasoned pro to deliver over the course of a season. He's never scored more than 10 goals in a Premier League season, but he's still only 21?
Yeah, it's about 21, 22.
Yeah. But the point I was making, and Hamza Ghani Barney might agree with me, and the point I was making is this: is Marcus Rashford at the right club for his development, or more specifically, what would he look like as a player playing off the bench for a team like Liverpool?
Does he want to play off the bench? Forget which team. Does he want to play off the bench?
He may not have a choice. But
well, then he's at the right club. He's starting.
When we talk about the right team, is he with the right manager? That is another question, because
who is the United manager right now? I keep forgetting.
Ole.
He's at the wheel anyway.
Ole's at the wheel. So I mean, Ole's he's a striker, isn't he? He's a goal poacher. He's the baby-faced assassin. You'd want your manager to know what he's talking about with attacking players, and I mean, which is the most surprising thing. Like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer comes in, and what do? They strengthen at the back. They bought Daniel James, but really, Maguire and Bissaka, they were the two big signings, weren't they?
Yeah.
So maybe he thought
but before that, United were struggling. I mean, I think they're letting the most goals in the their Premier League season ever.
More goals than they've ever conceded in the Premier League season.
I believe so, yeah. Even though with the same defence the season before that with Mourinho, they were pretty solid on the back. When I say solid, they didn't concede the goal. Yeah, and it was the way of playing.
Yeah. So Chris Smalling and Phil Jones, isn't it?
Yeah, and remember, and now at the moment, Chris Smalling's apparently doing really well for, was it Roma he's at, or Lazio?
And you've got Lukaku who's doing excellent as well.
That's Inter Milan, yeah. So
Chris Smalling is actually doing better than De Ligt. That Ajax.
The ex-Ajax player who's gone to Juventus.
Scores update: Manchester United 3, Brighton Hove Albion 1.
Oh, they've scored.
Marcus Rashford scored.
Oh,
speak of the devil. Marcus Rashford scored.
He was looking very sharp, to be honest.
And that was after Lewis Dunk had just pulled a goal back for Brighton. Oh. So a very, very important goal. Fair play. Martial, 2 assists. He's having a really good game.
Yeah. He wasn't, to be honest.
He's got a couple of assists, so
he was lucky with the first assist because it sort of bounced off and went to him wide, and he just knocked it to Pereira, who then had a deflective shot in. The second assist was actually from a free kick, wasn't it? So I don't know. Oh, it must be the Rashford one. I haven't seen that goal.
Yeah, potentially the Rashford one.
Yeah.
So I don't know, Marcus. I don't have hate for him. I think he's a good player. I think he's a quality player. I think there's a lot of expectations on him. It doesn't help that he's associated with a player like Lingard, who's literally flopped and he's just gone off the scene completely.
Messi, Lingard.
But yeah, Lionel Jesse, innit? Lionel Jesse.
Lionel Jesse.
But I think. I mean, just imagine Marcus
I think
Rashford.
Rashford's never been.
Imagine
really
Rashford
been dropped,
at
has he?
City. Imagine Rashford at City.
Again,
off
he'll be on the bench. Yeah.
Because
I think
Jesus came on the scene.
Yeah.
Jesus was always going to start behind Aguero. Still is.
Yeah.
Jesus, they started off with him, and then he didn't really kick off, did they? And then put him on the bench.
Well,
Yeah,
look,
and they keep
you
rotating.
had-
So now they've got two world-class strikers in Aguero
Jesus is
and
not
Jesus.
And you also had Sane.
Oh, yes.
Jesus is
Yeah,
much
you
better
had
than anything
Sane
you've
playing
got.
on one wing. You had Sane playing on one wing.
Just 1 second. Would you rather have Martial than a Jesus?
I think the way that United are playing at this
I'd
moment, they can have
always have
Aguero and they still won't be scoring, but they'll be struggling.
Okay. I can't see you on the screen, Sadat. All I can see is Gillen Balaug.
Yeah, he likes to hold the screen.
So
And
you can get a little bit closer to him if you want. Let's talk about the.
let's talk about
go
not
on.
the North clubs, because we always do that: United, City, Liverpool, and we're going to talk obviously about
talk
City.
about
and Liverpool.
Arsenal.
Let's talk about Arsenal.
Let's
Tottenham.
talk about Arsenal.
What's happened to Arsenal? What's happened to Tottenham?
Tottenham. What's wrong with Tottenham?
Well, considering where they were last season and the way they've been playing this season, the form, was it a 1-1 draw against
It was
Sheffield
a
United at
1-1 draw,
home?
yeah.
Sheffield United are incredible right now.
And they
Sheffield United,
apparently
these are the teams that Tottenham
they were
should
very
be
unlucky. They should have got the VAR decision went against them.
Well, against Sheffield, you know?
Yeah,
Or-
and
right.
it should
This
have been-
VAR is so annoying.
But
I
big
don't
news
like
for the
it.
weekend is the first win for Watford.
Yep, home win, wasn't
So
it? Was
they
it
got
their
a
home?
home. No,
Excellent
they
win.
won away to Norwich.
Oh, was it away? Oh,
Yeah,
to
to Team
Norwich.
Puki's Norwich. Yeah.
Norwich. Didn't they beat City, didn't they? Norwich? Was it Norwich?
Yeah,
Norwich did
and
beat City.
they're second bottom now, aren't they?
Norwich are second bottom. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Wow.
Watford are probably still bottom, are they?
No,
Watford
I think
are
they
not
got
bottom, no.
lifted that victory
Let's
got them
have a
off the
look.
bottom.
Yeah.
That got them off the bottom, I'm sure.
I think that's
So-
Maybe on the weekend
Wow,
then.
Watford are third bottom. You're
Yeah,
right. Yeah,
third
Norwich
bottom.
are bottom. Southampton second bottom, and Watford third bottom now behind Villa, West Ham, and Wolves, and Manchester United. Manchester United are 14th. But they're going to obviously leapfrog a number of teams today with the result that they've pretty much got in the bag. So that was
So and then there's Arsenal. So Tottenham and Arsenal. Well, Arsenal maybe they've been dropping for a few seasons, shall we say, since Arsene Wenger's left. Tottenham, did really well last season, considering they didn't really make any signings or any big signings, and then this season again they're going down.
Okay,
Oh, well, not down,
so Unai
relegated,
Emery's
but
had
then-
50 games at Arsenal now.
Yeah.
I think even Arsenal fans were shouting, "You're going to get sacked in the morning."
And Arsene Wenger, I think everybody agrees that he probably went on for about 2 years too long. He was really good, then he was good, then he was average, and then he was quite poor. That was kind of his career at Arsenal. In fact,
With the players he had, I mean, he wasn't really. They weren't really strengthening or building while he was there in the last couple of years, were they?
you have to remember, he paid, when nobody used to pay that kind of money, he paid over 40 million for Ozil.
So yeah,
And he
he's
picked
not
him
even
up.
getting selected in the
And
squad nowadays.
Did he not bring Aubameyang in?
He did.
And did he
Yeah.
not bring Lacazette in as well? So he did spend lots of money. Unai Emery didn't bring that.
Yeah,
did he?
but I think that was more forced, wasn't it? There was a
Did
lot
he
of
bring Mkhitaryan in?
Mkhitaryan he bought in.
It was a swap deal, wasn't
Every
it?
Premier League
Sanchez.
team wanted Mkhitaryan
Yeah.
at the time.
Yeah, I remember
So-
Liverpool
no,
after
No,
him
no,
as
it
well.
was a swap deal. Mkhitaryan was a swap deal with Sanchez, wasn't it? So it
Oh,
wasn't a
did he-
matter. But it wasn't. Everyone wanted him. It was like he wasn't doing well at United.
Oh, but he brought Sanchez in as well.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
Yeah, but
They,
still,
they were doing well when he brought
So
Sanchez in.
was
When
a
Sanchez
player.
had performed for
But
Arsenal.
I think Arsenal is just. But the stat I saw, or rather the graphic I saw, was they compared Arsene Wenger's last 50 games with Unai Emery's first 50 games, and he was scoring more goals. He was conceding fewer goals. He'd had a higher win percentage, literally in every department.
Wenger. Wenger did, yeah.
Wenger's
Yeah,
last
Arsene
50
Wenger.
games,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
you know, you 22 years at the club and you're an absolute
Yeah, yeah.
legend. His last 50 games apparently were so poor that they had to get rid of him, and they got rid of him for a manager whose first 50 games
It's
were
because of
actually
the pressure of the
worse.
fans, wasn't it? They weren't happy with Wenger.
Well, Arsenal TV obviously didn't help, or ATV or whatever it is.
Yeah, it was
But-
a lot of pressure.
But in
as it is.
saying that, I think they probably will get rid of him, and maybe
be careful
in
what they
January
wish for,
or
isn't it? They wish for
at the end of December.
Wenger.
But they're looking at a couple of other managers, aren't they? Currently at the moment,
Mourinho's name's been shown.
Mourinho's name's been mentioned, and Mourinho apparently would like to go to Arsenal as well.
Oh, really?
I think Mourinho would like a job.
Yeah.
let's be straight. Yeah.
Well, he's currently on one of the channels, isn't he, as a commentator?
Yeah. He's
As a
currently
pundit.
commentating. Pundit. Yeah, it's easy to. It's a lot easier to pundit than it is to manage. But yeah, you're right. And the thing
He
is, I
hated
just
the
feel
pundits.
I just feel like every time I see him on TV, it's like he's doing a job interview. Because he's like, I would do this, I would do that, and obviously this team, he's just got his views, hasn't he? Which I guess what pundits do. But I just feel like he's going for a job interview. I think Mourinho would be excellent for Arsenal as a club. Forget what the fans want, because the fans obviously the fans want everything, and I think most fans are like that. But Arsenal fans in particular, they've been spoilt. They had the season with the Invincibles. They've had some amazing players come through their doors. Arsene Wenger, he ignited the Premier League with the style of football.
Arsene Wenger, I think if you had any criticism for him, he wasn't prepared to spend the big money when it mattered. I know he spent money in the last couple of seasons.
As a business, he was doing great business for
as a
Arsenal,
business,
wasn't he?
as a
He's made
club,
so much
yeah.
money,
He bought
and he was
Anelka for
achieving
nothing.
Yeah.
And he sold it for multi-millions.
Yeah.
He's got players. I mean, this is the thing. He's got players like Alexander Hleb, and was it Matthew Flamini?
Yeah.
Right. These kinds of players who looked sensational in his system, and they get signed by European giants for multi-million pounds, and then they just look average at best.
Average, yeah.
But in a system that Arsene Wenger used to play, they used to look fantastic. It was very fluid. You had the right person in the right role, doing the right things at the right time, and their football was sensational. But a lot of these players, if you look at them individually, they do get exposed.
Yeah,
They
he's
do
bought
get
big
found
players
out.
as well, isn't he?
Thierry Henry signed for
Henry,
11 million.
Yeah, what a player he
Van
was.
Persie,
Yeah.
Van Persie, yeah.
Yeah.
He signed all these players.
Bergkamp.
Bought Bergkamp in, didn't he? Yeah.
Shrewd business he did.
He's
Great.
even I think when he was at AC
And it's not as if
Milan,
they not
wasn't
won
he?
anything. Arsene Wenger, okay, we talk about last 50 games or so. Arsene Wenger's, I don't think won everything other than Champions League.
Arif, are Arsenal going through what United have gone through in that they've replaced a long-standing, very, very successful manager, and they just can't find their feet right now?
Yeah, I think they're still trying to find their identity after Arsene Wenger, aren't they? They're not playing the fluid football that he was playing, and Unai Emery is struggling with. I mean, he's got some fantastic players in that team going forward, but defensively they haven't improved. And I think what you've got to do is, and I think we all know, the defense has to be as strong as you got to build from the back and then get to your forwards.
Well, Arsenal was known for that in the club. I
Yeah,
suppose,
they were always
United known for their wingers and
Yeah,
such.
the question I was going to ask
Arsenal's
you.
known for their defenders.
So he's just said like Arsenal need to re-find their identity, but their identity was completely transformed when Wenger came in. Because before that, it was the George Graham school of Arsenal. It was the 1-0 to the Arsenal.
Absolutely, yeah.
It was, you're playing at Highbury, we're going to nick a goal and we're going to defend with Adams and Keown and Winterburn and Bold and all those guys.
Yeah.
And they were going to defend, and they'll nick a goal. Ian Wright would pull a goal out from somewhere or wherever. Kevin Campbell used to get the odd goal here and there. Alan Smith. Back in the day, they'd have one goal, set piece, whatever. 1-0 to the Arsenal.
Except for when they needed to win by 2 goals.
Except when they need to win by 2 goals, in which case they did go away and be the only team that scored 2 goals at Anfield to win the league on the last day of the season. Yes,
Yeah.
I remember that well. But somebody like Arsene Wenger comes in, he changes their identity. Their whole identity has changed.
How long did it take him?
Yeah, a period of time. But I think the fans went with him, though. The fans
That's the thing.
supported him.
I just don't think there's enough patience out there. Even with Alex Ferguson, it didn't take him 1 season, 2 seasons. It was a few seasons.
Yeah, it took him quite a number of seasons to get it right.
They said had they not won the FA Cup that season, he was probably going to get the sack.
Yep.
But there's patience nowadays. They want everybody, not just the fans. You say the fans want everything.
Nowadays it's more with it's money, isn't it? Money talks.
Exactly. The club in itself wants everything.
And United,
yesterday.
as much as you say, they're now losing a lot of revenue because they're not in the top end of the.
I think they recorded profit actually last season again.
Yeah, but
they're one of the top clubs, the top 4 clubs.
They had record levels of revenue, but not profit. But they're still generating lots and lots of money. Let's move on. Let's talk about the other club you mentioned, Tottenham. So yeah, Tottenham have had a bit of a
Tottenham is spending a lot of money on the ground or on the new location, but not investing in the players. And really, it doesn't look like they're going to lose a few big players at Ericsson.
And you're looking at Pochettino, and you're thinking, this guy was world class.
Is he at the right club now? We talk about players at the right club. Is Pochettino at the right club?
I think
should he move?
I think Pochettino, for his own ambition, he's got to really move on. He's got to move on to a club where he feels he can spend, have a little bit more money to spend on, and we'll see how good he is at that point then.
Don't you think like he missed an opportunity? Because Champions League final, you lose 2-0, bit unlucky with that handball goal. The second goal, it was a sucker punch goal, wasn't it? Yeah, a sucker punch goal. So in a way, he was a little bit unlucky. You can say, he didn't quite get the rub of the green. And he had invested in 0 players ahead of that season, and they got all the way to Champions League, and they finished in the top 4. So that's an amazing season by any stretch of the imagination. You've got City and Liverpool running away with it, and then you got Tottenham there or thereabouts. Isn't that the time where he says, right, I need to either get some serious backing and make something of this club, make something of this team, let's create our history, or if that's not going to happen, this is the time, strike while the iron's hot and move on.
Do you think he would have went to United if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer hadn't come in for the last month or so for the season and won those games that he did win?
I think he probably would have ended up going to United at that point.
So I think United jumped the gun with signing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
I think they did.
Because I think Pochettino would have.
And again, it was the fans, wasn't it? The noise that, he's Ole coming.
Give him a contract.
Give him a contract.
Let him write what number he wants to write on that piece of paper. Get him to sign.
Ex-players. All that.
He can have whatever he wants. We just beat PSG.
I don't know if they've, approached Pochettino secretly sort of thing and thinking test the waters and see if he was interested or not interested, and probably they got feedback that he's not interested and probably signed Ole Gunnar.
I'm not sure. I don't think they went hard enough trying to sign him. I think, look, they know where their frailties lie. United, they knew he would have brought in stability to the club. He would have brought in some good footballers as well.
Bedan said Maureen is learning German and will replace Nico Kovac.
Bayern Munich,
and he's also said Bruce Rioch signed Bergkamp. I did not know that.
Wow.
Bruce Rioch. I don't even remember him managing.
I remember him managing.
It must have been a short stint. Was it when he was straight after George Graham Part 2 or something?
Probably signed
George
Bergkamp
Graham
left.
came in, went out, didn't he?
It was quite surprising. I think you're right.
Ishfaq Ali saying, does Arif even know about football? This is Ishfaq Ali.
Ishfaq Ali. What does he want to know?
What do you want to know, Ishfaq?
What he wants to know is can you put his mic on mute, please?
Can someone put his mic on mute, please? The show will be so much better. He's literally saying that. So obviously, Bidan is watching.
In the morning.
Ishfaq Ali's watching. Sanika Ismail's watching. Guys, keep getting your comments. This is brilliant stuff. We've got about 8 minutes of the show
I can't agree with Ishfaq. I'm sorry. I've got to back up my fellow colleague here.
I'll back up your fellow colleague as well. I think
because tomorrow somebody could shout out about me, so I'll back him up now.
Absolutely, I think just to prove to Ishfaq Ali that you do know what you're talking about when it comes to football.
Let's talk about AK11.
Where do you think the game is going to be won and lost this afternoon between?
Yes, let's talk about the game everyone wants to talk about.
That's a good question, isn't it?
Is this the decider? Can I ask
there's
another
so many
question?
fine margins in this game.
Can I ask another question?
Go on.
Is this the decider
Wolves
for the Premier League?
against Villa, by the way.
Okay, congratulations, Wolves. If Liverpool win this game, can someone remind me? Is it Anfield or is
Anfield?
It Anfield? So if Liverpool win this game at home, is that the Premier League in the bag? Is it?
Of course not.
Is it like 6 points?
It's too early.
Look, it obviously puts us in a great position. Win, lose or draw, the Premier League's not decided now. We were 10 points ahead in January, and we got overtaken by City. They won the league. So it's never done until it's done.
I genuinely think last season Liverpool lost the league or didn't really capitalise when they were at Old Trafford that game. They should have won that game.
I don't think
you're just trying to make it about Man United.
Yeah. No.
Liverpool got the third most points that any Premier League team has ever scored.
That game was there to win, and I think had Liverpool, if Liverpool had won Premier Leagues before, or
I know you're going to say that. I know you're going to say that. But
I think
the fact of the matter is this. The fact of the matter is this. Liverpool, you can only control what you can control. And what was in their control is how many points they got over the course of the
No,
season.
but there's certain games you
And
look
they've
at,
got
and I think that's one of the
97
big
points.
games.
They got 97
that they
points.
should have won.
Yeah, so they got 97 points. There's only 2 teams in the history of the Premier League that have got more than 97 points. One was City last season, and one was City the season before. So in the cold light of day, you're going to turn around and you can say that Liverpool team is the 3rd best team to have ever played in the Premier League, because it's picked up the 3rd amount of points. The only one that could possibly argue with that is the Arsenal Invincibles, because they went a whole season without losing a single game. If you don't get, you don't get a trophy for it. Yeah, you have to be the best team on a particular year.
Yeah, but it just seems to be at the moment there is just 2 teams in it. It is City and Liverpool at the moment. Where in previous seasons,
No, because if City win, then there's 4 teams that are within 4 points of each other.
Yeah, Tottenham were in 3 or 4 points or ahead at one stage, but we all knew that it weren't going to happen.
Look,
So
Leicester
the
have
2
done it
teams,
before. Chelsea are looking super strong.
and we all said it was very surprising what Leicester did, and it would be very unlikely, and that's going to happen again very soon.
But if we win today, we'll
If
probably
Liverpool
get to
win today.
If Liverpool win today,
Don't say we, please. As media, we should be impartial.
absolutely should be impartial. If Liverpool manage to win today, we will probably get to Christmas
Again,
top of the
we.
league. We'll win the top of the Christmas tree
And we.
league again. Liverpool will, and then second half of the season. If we can,
So it's not a Premier League decided today. So
I think
Liverpool can afford to lose.
Yes, they can.
Because is it 6 points ahead at the moment?
6 points.
6
ahead.
points.
So
I think the other
the question is, City have to win.
Not necessarily. I think a draw would be. I think both teams would be happy with a draw. Yeah. The other
City
thing,
may
I think
be
the other
on the
thing you need
basis
to look
they're
at
away.
as well. Liverpool have got a large number of games in a short period of space in the next sort of month coming up. So anything is possible.
I've just been asked to put Sadat's mic on mute to allow Arif to finish his point, because Arif's making some really good points. So Sadat,
The real good points bit wasn't written on there.
can you let him finish his analysis for once? The way I see it is this: Liverpool are quite likely to lose when they play Man City away. Okay. So if we do get, I think, yeah. So if we do get a draw, we retain a 6-point lead, assuming our results against other teams are similar. We can afford to lose there and still be 3 points ahead. Obviously, there's lots that can happen. There's so many teams. But you have to remember, you're only 12 games into the season. You're a third of the way through the season. So as much as it is a massive game, and it's probably the biggest game of the season in the Premier League, it's not going to decide anything. It's just going to give one team a boost, and one team's probably going to be a little bit flat after it. Our draw against this is how far we've come. We've won 11 and drawn 1, and we're gutted that we've drawn 1.
We're gutted we draw that particular game.
Yeah, that particular game.
Yeah.
But again, it's a good sign, because they didn't really deserve a draw. They were going to look like they were going to lose a match, and they got a draw, so that's good.
I don't think Liverpool have deserved a win in at least 4 games we've played this season.
Which is a sign. Which is a good sign to win. I think was it Pep who was saying that winning in the last minute that Liverpool have done in the few games that they have this season. It's not lucky.
Ooh, what about diving? Pep's comments about Mane diving.
That was a dive. I saw one of it.
It was harsh. I think.
Forget that whether it was dive or not.
One of them.
Pep's comment.
Yeah.
He's like, sometimes they get over the line with some fantastic bits.
And I think that's a bit Alex Ferguson coming into that now. I think.
I thought he was better than that. I thought he was above all that.
There are rumours.
Above all that?
Yeah.
I thought he was above all that.
Yeah, I think there are rumours.
You'd love it if you beat City today. You'd love it.
The two clubs have got some sort of history now. There's a few niggly comments from managers and ex-players and stuff like this, which are coming into it.
I don't think it's clubs. It's just a matter of, because they're the two. It's either going to be City or Liverpool.
I think whatever edge you can get over the opponent,
exactly.
that's
so
what
he's seeing the threat is Liverpool. Liverpool see the threat is City. They don't see Tottenham, Arsenal, United.
Who starts in the middle for Liverpool? Have we got lineup? I think we have got a lineup. Let's have a look. Let me tell you what the lineup is for this.
That'll be interesting.
Because I think the key is the 3 guys in midfield.
Yeah.
Now, before checking, I wanted it to be Winnie, Oxlade-Chamberlain, and Fabinho.
I think he's going to start with Hendo. I've got this feeling.
No. Oh, wow. No Ox.
No.
He has started, So Hendo ahead of Ox.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be.
Fabinho, Ronaldo, and Henderson.
Yeah. So, again, is that more defensively than you thought? Because Ox would be more attacking.
It is. You're absolutely right.
Right. So again, is Liverpool thinking we could do with a draw? Let's not lose this game.
I think that
let's maintain that 6 points.
I think that what they're doing is they're relying on the 3 strikers the three forwards to make that little bit difference and keep it as
If
tight
you
as
were
possible.
manager,
Let me start.
Would
Sorry,
you-
let me
would
start.
you-
Wait, let me just
Sorry,
get in
yeah,
there.
go
What was it that Manchester United did so well to stop Liverpool from scoring?
They played 5 at the back.
No,
Personally
no, go
speaking.
on.
Then they play five.
What
at
did
the
they do?
back.
What did they do
They
so well?
pressed so
to
high
stop-
up.
No, they
They
didn't.
did. They pressed very high up.
Oh my God!
They pressed extremely high. The wing backs you had.
Did you see Match of the Day after the game?
No, I
They
didn't see
said
Match of the Day.
Mourinho said if you sit
Oh,
off.
Mourinho said,
Yeah,
okay.
Mourinho said if you sit off them, and then that's exactly what Ole did as well. They sat off them, and if you don't press on, you don't have gaps. If you don't have gaps, Mane, Salah can't do anything.
There was a high press
Right.
between.
The point I'm making is this. The point I'm making is Man City have to press, which means Liverpool could get those gaps. So it's going to be an exciting game.
Yeah, but if I was a Liverpool manager or fan, I would expect Liverpool to, let's go out and win this. Let's put the most attacking players we've got out there.
No
because we're
Edison
6
today.
points ahead.
No Edison today.
Okay.
They got Rodrigo, Gundogan, and De Bruyne with Sterling, Aguero, and Silva. Wow.
Silver's
It's gonna
back
be,
then.
it'll be another good
Bernardo
game.
Silva, yeah. Well, it's going to be a cracking game, guys. I hope you can all settle in to your couches and enjoy it. And of course, we're going to be back next week to talk a little bit about the game, how it
Well,
went.
depending how the result goes.
Depending how,
Barrow.
yeah, if the result doesn't go too well, we might not even come back next week. So we wish us the best, and inshallah, we wish you a really, really good sporting week from all three of us. Assalamu alaikum.
Well,
Well,
Salaam.
Stay tuned to Salaam Radio after this short ad break.